Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Here's a new headline from dailyhodl.com. Revelations that Ripple is buying XRP go viral, trigger debate on future of third largest crypto asset. Now, this is not surprising, and it's not a bad thing. Frankly, learning something new like this, I think it's worth discussing as an XRP community here. Now, I also cited that there would be some Bitcoin maxi trolls that would waddle out from under their bridges to say nonsensical things. Oh my God, Ripple, they're buying XRP, manipulating price. Oh my gosh, this or that. So whether they're selling XRP or buying XRP, it's bad. Apparently, if you're developing on top of any blockchain, it's you're not allowed to participate within the ecosystem in terms of buying and selling. Of course, they wouldn't actually say that if it was about Bitcoin, but, you know, ideology, right? So it's perfectly fine, and I really do think it's fun to hear any potential pros and cons. Seriously, it's just a fun critical thinking exercise here, and I like that the XRP community has been talking about this. And I think that the vast majority of what's going on here is it's just XRP community members just trying to get to the truth of the matter, sharing ideas, bouncing ideas off of each other, and to me that's all healthy stuff here. So we're going to run through this, and before we go any further, though, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I would certainly appreciate it. You don't have to, you can still hang out, but just know that if you would be willing to tap the like button, it will tell YouTube to push this video out to other people, so it would help the channel, and I would be eternally grateful. And also go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You know you ain't got nothing better to do, probably ain't got no friends or anything, you just sitting here listening to Moon Lambo in your mama's basement. I'm just kidding, I love you. I want to be clear before I jump into the content there, so that I want to make sure I properly set the table. Several days ago, Ripple released their second quarter 2020 XRP markets report, and I already made a video on this, so I'm not going to run through it, other than to cover specifically this portion right here, which has to do with the buying of XRP. In Q2 2020, total XRP sales were 32.55 million United States dollars versus 1.75 million the previous quarter. And it's worth mentioning here also, and I highlighted this in a separate video, that the huge jump up was cited as the snap in XRP sales by Ripple, as if Ripple, if they wanted to sell, would have had trouble, or did have trouble, the prior quarter. It was nonsensical. It was from a CoinDesk author, Danny something or other wrote it. It was just complete and utter garbage, made no sense at all. Ripple, if they wanted to, and they don't, they could just unload every single escrow, 100% of it month over month. That would not help them to meet their business goals over the coming decades. It's not going to happen. They have the greatest incentive, greater than me or you or any other business, to ensure a long-term healthy ecosystem for XRP because they hold so much of it. This should not be surprising here. But Ripple continued the pause of programmatic sales, focusing solely on its over-the-counter sales as part of providing increased XRP liquidity to RippleNet's on-demand liquidity customers. This added liquidity is vital as on-demand liquidity continues to evolve and expand into new corridors. Check this out now, and this is where it really gets to the part I wanted to make sure you guys are all aware of. A healthy, orderly XRP market is required to minimize cost and risk for customers. And Ripple plays a responsible role in the liquidity process. As more financial institutions leverage RippleNet's on-demand liquidity service, more liquidity is added into the XRP market. That said, and this is the key part, that said, Ripple has been a buyer in the secondary market and may continue to undertake purchases in the future at market prices. So there you go. It's basically spot buys on exchanges, retail exchanges, just like you and I can do. I mean, the way they worded it, that's the way I'm certainly taking it anyway. And it's funny because prior to this news coming out, I even made a video about how there was evidence that was tracked on the XRP ledger, because the ledger's public after all, that showed funds flowing from Binance to Ripple. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? And as it turns out, and it's not surprising in hindsight, but they're just making sure there's sufficient liquidity, and that can require at various times either buying or selling of XRP. Basically, as XRP community member Galgatron put it, Ripple is a benevolent whale, not a manipulative whale like you'll see throughout the rest of crypto. I think that's a reasonable way to frame it. It's just, what I mean by that, and I hope it's already clear, but in case it's not, Ripple is just being a very responsible steward of the XRP ecosystem. That's all that's meant by that. And so then you have this here. Ripple's announcement, this is the Daily Hodl piece, that it has been purchasing XRP on the secondary market is triggering a fresh debate on the state of the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. In its Q2 markets report, the payment startup, I already covered that, let me jump a little lower, news of Ripple's new status as an XRP buyer shot to the front page of the Ripple subreddit, where one poster suggested the XRP purchases could be a bullish signal for the asset. And here's a quote from that Reddit. The fact that Ripple has stopped programmatic selling of XRP to the open market and is now buying back from the open market is huge, in my opinion. It means Ripple is making enough money from their business that they can now afford to buy back up XRP, thus lowering supply and increasing demand and therefore price. Well, look, we already knew that literally, I can't remember when this, it was probably at some point within the last year, there was news, because Ripple made it public, that they had like hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm not talking about their XRP holdings. Like on the balance sheet, they had like hundreds of millions of dollars. Literally, it was like 300 and something million, pulling from memory here. It was somewhere there about. And so, I don't think so much that it has so much to do with that. Ripple doesn't, they have so much money. They don't need to sell anything anytime soon. They're just, and that's why I go back to me. And it's perfectly fine that this XRP community member is thinking, hey, maybe this is what it is. That's why it's so fun to engage with other community members. I'm saying I personally don't think that's what it is. I think that it's just ensuring that there's sufficient liquidity. And to me, I don't know that it's any more complex than that. Now, maybe we'll hear more from Ripple about the specifics of why they're doing this, but to this point, they haven't released that. Now, the rest of this XRP community member's comment continues as follows. They are still doing OTC sales, so that would be over-the-counter sales. But given Ripple's track record, these are all likely part of onboarding contracts. Many of these companies will be holding onto the XRP they receive to utilize in future transaction flows. Yeah, exactly. And so, and Ripple will offer in terms of price at times, they've been public about this too, get sweetheart deals on price. If you're a key exchange partner, for example, you may receive a sweetheart deal, but there are strings attached that you cannot sell the XRP, because why would Ripple want to sell XRP below market value to make somebody else rich? Because if they wanted to sell XRP, first of all, they could just sell it at market value. So there'd be no incentive unless it's some sort of mutually beneficial relationship right there. Then the piece continues. Others agreed, with some suggesting Ripple bought XRP in anticipation of the price going up, says one Redditor. I don't buy that, but I love healthy conversation on this. I do not think that's the case at all. In fact, Ripple, to the contrary, Ripple has released, and it was in May of 2017, they released a 30-year... they released their release plan. Okay, so it was they released their 30-year release plan of XRP, and of course, and they showed it on a chart. I've highlighted this on the channel before, but it doesn't mean it's ever going to look exactly like that, and it doesn't look precisely like that. But the point is, their intention has been made publicly clear, which is to divest themselves of the vast majority of XRP over a very long period of time. They are playing the long game here, right? And so here's what another Redditor said, XRP community member. A stock buyback can often be seen as one of the most positive things a company can do with their capital to reinvest in themselves under the opinion that the market has undervalued the price. In fair enough, that's a thing in stocks. I just don't believe that's what's happening here. I don't think that's the reason for this. And he writes in parentheses here also, not that I'm suggesting XRP is a stock. Let that sink in for a moment. And then the piece continues, but not all crypto enthusiasts are bullish on Ripple's moves, with some equating the company's purchase of XRP to stock buybacks, the practice of companies buying their own shares. And so check out this from another XRP community member, or maybe somebody's just not happy. You do realize most CEOs and executive teams around the globe have used share buybacks as a way to artificially drive up the price of their company's stocks, allowing them to cash out at a higher price. Basically, a legal way of insider trading. Now substitute in what I've just mentioned, the words shares for XRP, and hopefully you'll see why this is nothing more than Ripple execs and VCs looking to unload their personal stash at a higher price at your expense. Except for if you look at where the flows are actually going, it does not actually indicate that at all. And if that were the case, given what they're buying, like, why are they also selling at the same time they're buying? Look over a 30-day period or a 90-day period. If that's the case, and that's the intent. This is why I'm glad that people are talking about this and thinking through it. But to me, it just doesn't make sense, because if that were the case, they would just purely stop selling. It's all about the proper blend of price and liquidity. And so I just think that it's worth pointing that out and just think through it a little bit further, because as far as comparing it to stock buybacks and that, it just, to me, it just simply does not ring true. Just my opinion. But you guys can tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong or I missed something, I would love to hear, because I don't pretend that I'm right about everything, but I'm opinionated because it's fun to talk about this stuff. It's engaging, and I love hearing other opinions. But the key to that is never let your opinions become part of your identity, because then when you find out you are wrong about something, which will inevitably happen, like I know I'm not right about everything, I just don't know which things I believe that are not true. And same for you, same for every human out there. So the key is to just not let that become part of your identity, because that way when you find something that's wrong and it's brought to your attention, you don't have to know that, but then try and put up this facade to protect yourself. Usually, and by the way, usually people can see through that. The best thing to do when you're proven wrong is to just be like, oh yeah, you're right, good point, be an adult about it, because people can see through you when they know that you know you're wrong and you're just not acknowledging it. Just a little life lesson here from Moon Lambo. I'm just sharing my opinion. I've been on the planet 37 years now, and I think that's the best way to go about this. Plus, you don't have to pretend to believe something that you don't actually believe if you just take that approach. Just apply that to everything in life. That's what I do. And so that's why anything that I believe about Ripple and the XRP ecosystem, if it's proven wrong, then I will adjust what I believe, announce it on the channel, and move forward. And I think that people appreciate people just being honest, genuine people, right? And so, be like that. I just, look at the sage wisdom coming from the Moon Lambo channel as we're wrapping up the video here. All right, that's it for this one, but I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.